Sir Andrew later on, and for me. I was looking through the paper the other day, and one of the Lonely Hearts ads seemed to jump right out at me. It said, TV presenter, 30-something, single parent with own home, car and cat, is looking for Mr. Giles. Must have GSOH. Gorgeous shock of hair? Great standing or horizontal? Goes slowly over humps? Oh no, I know, good sense of humour. That means that ad had to be placed by the one, the only Miss Annabel Giles. Hello then. Hello, mate. Now, excuse me.
Yes.
Just a little backtrack here, because we haven't seen each other for ages.
No, it's been a while.
Is it really so hard for such a gorgeous woman as yourself to find Mr. Right, Mr. Giles, to find a bloke?
It's not finding them, obviously, because the piece of skin on the front of my head, as I call it, that serves me quite well. It's not finding them, it's what to do with them next. That's the trouble. It always seems to sort of end in disaster, and what I'm doing is I'm making the wrong choices, and what I do is I go for looks first, personality later, rather too much later, in fact, very much later. And so what I thought I'd do is if I got the audience to fill in a form to apply for the job with no photo attached, then I'd have to go on their character because I wouldn't know what they look like.
Now, I'll just explain, this is the audience she's talking about, the audience who have been traipsing in now to see, I mean, millions of them, loving it, to see Looking for Mr. Giles. How long have you taken to put the show together?
Well, I sort of went around shouting a lot, going, I'm going to be doing my own show in Edinburgh a lot, and shouted about it and did all the posters and everything, not one word written. And then found myself about 5 weeks before it was going to start going, oh, I've not written one word, and I've got to now write an hour's show for just me. One person, no parts, you know. And
that's what you did?
And that's what I did.
So in the course of the show, the search is on to find Mr. Giles. Now, before you hand out the questionnaire, are you actually sussing out the good-looking guys as they come in, you know?
Certainly not, Sarah, as if. I mean, really. As if I'm scouring the audience like this.
Yes, I'll go for him.
No, well, yes, no, I'd like to, but you see, they hand in their forms and I don't know what their name is, so I still can't, even if I spot someone rather good-looking in the audience.
You wouldn't cheat and just point?
I still can't tell. No, well, I don't know. I don't go and personally get the forms. I send someone else deliberately from the audience to get them.
Tell me something. What does Molly make of all this? Molly is Annabel's daughter, who must be now 8.
Yes, she's 8. Well, Molly has her own spot, whereby I bring on a picture of her. And there's a little sort of tape about the fact that she's not really a child. She's a grown-up trapped in a child's body, bless her.
Which is quite true.
And she said, why are you going to Edinburgh to do all this, you know, and why are you doing this at Battersea, and what's going on? And I said, I'm going to look for a boyfriend. She just went, oh, how pathetic. Which gives you some idea of what Molly's like.
But when you actually do get to bring a Mr. Giles wannabe home, what's her reaction? How does she treat them?
Oh, well, you know, she's usually fairly dismissive and just sort of, yeah, she's sort of as rude as she can possibly be. I mean, the thing I think about all children of single parents is they actually want their parent to themselves and aren't very keen on the idea of sharing them. So she's fairly sort of brutish to begin with, but in a very funny way.
So she's looking forward to the next two-woman show, I expect, that you'll actually be together.
Yes.
It was incredibly successful at Edinburgh. I mean, you were playing it down there, but it went terribly well at Edinburgh, I know. How are things going at the Battersea Arts Centre?
Well, they're going terribly well, actually. It was brilliant. It was all sort of sold out. I've only opened 1 week. I'm doing this week and next week. It was sold out last week, except for Sunday, which no one had quite managed to say that there was a show on Sunday. I didn't really know till I left and said to everyone, OK, see you Monday. They went, no, Sunday. So I came out to 9 people sitting in the audience.
Oh, no.
9 people. Oh, hello. I was hoping there were any single people in there, luckily, but we all managed through and we kept sort of making jokes, all of us, about the enormous crowd that were assembled. But apart from that one night, which wasn't advertised, it's gone incredibly well, yes. I have no idea why. I mean, I think it's more of a romp than a play.
Have you found a man?
No.
No, so
no.
It hasn't. The search isn't off,
yes,
so we can go on.
Oh no, the search is on and on and on and on and on.
I know you have very specific requirements, Annabel.
Yes.
Possibly too specific. Possibly standards are too high.
Do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
I've been out with any old bloke though. I've done that.
Yes,
I just think it's time to get a bit fussier, frankly.
But I know that one of the requirements is dancing.
Yes.
You're very keen on people being able to dance.
Well, once someone makes it through to the final round, I then get them to undergo a few tests just to make absolutely sure. that they can do.
So what do they have to do? I mean, I've seen you at parties in the past, I hasten to add, taking the mickey very well about how English boys dance. And you say English boys, not Welsh boys, English boys.
English.
I want you to show me how
English boys, well, there's a certain sort of public school boy, and I'm going to stand up now and just announce it to everybody. That's me standing up. There's a certain sort of public school boy sort of dances like this. You know, those sort of like, there's a lot of, sort of that sort of thing. Well, I make them do 12 different types of dancing, anything from Russian dancing to the Charleston. So just to check that we haven't got any of those.
Be warned then, be warned. You'll have to dance if you go to see Annabel show at the Battersea Arts Centre looking for Mr Giles. Annabel, thanks so much for coming in. I want you to stay right there for just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Annabel Giles.
Thank you.
Now, the reason I've asked Annabel to sit right there is because recently I met a man who knows exactly the right way to move. Back in 1987, when Dirty Dancing was released, millions swooned at the swivel of his hips. Whose hips? Why, Patrick Swayze's, of course.